Hi, good morning, friends. Today I'll be talking about one interesting facet of personal branding, and that is creative destruction and how it relates to personal branding. Creative destruction is a popular term often used in business innovation, which was coined by Professor Scumpeter sometimes in 1950s. It all relates to the processes and whys of innovation, the organization that innovates, and why should organization innovate to stay relevant. With that backdrop of creative destruction, let me bring in the concept of personal branding and how does Scumpeter's creative destruction relate to personal branding. We have seen in last two posts about personal branding while busting myths around it. We have seen that personal branding is something that should be only concerned by the celebrities and the politicians and the likes. But definitely, we now know that personal branding is something that everyone should be concerned and should be careful about. And let's see here how does finding one's true purpose and meaning in life through the process of creative destruction relates to personal branding. As someone charts out his career in the initial days, many of us might not have clarity and vivid description about and the construction about personal branding. And more importantly, the nuances such as what is the meaning and the purpose of life of one's even career. One might undergo several iterative process of finding that sweet spot in career space. For example, I started out as a sales executive. I continued as business manager for over a decade and I was averagely successful. It never happened to me as a flow in my own career until the point where I found my true calling in learning and development, in organizational change, and OD. This transition was a fluke, but you needn't be worried about fluke and shouldn't be guided by fluke. Rather, if you continuously ask those meaningful questions, such as what is my purpose of life, what actually drives me in a flow, what should be my purpose and meaning in my own career, how can I continuously search out for it? How can I sensitize myself to look for those sweet spots which drives me in a flow, which gives me those replenishing energies? We are closely gravitating towards finding meaning and purpose in our own life and career. This process of often selectively choosing out, discarding out your earlier career deliberately to opt for something that you have found out as the sweet spot in a process of re energizing and reinventing your own self. Creative destruction comes in handy. If you look into the cultural nuances and background around creative destruction, Indian societies and practices and mythologies are replete with numerous examples of creative destruction. For example, it is considered a good omen when the milk boils out while heating and it spills over the fire. That's just one of the primitive example of how we creatively destruct one product in order to select and opt for something very new which was hitherto unknown. Such is the power of creative destruction that it has given rise to scientific innovation, organizational restructuring, redesign, and has the potential to transform at a micro level, at a unitary level, even one's career and life. And hence, I urge each one of you to constantly seek the answers to the questions such as what is the true purpose of my life? What is the true purpose and meaning in my own career? What is that part of my job that really drives me with a constant flow where I am at my own best? And those are the inching closer areas that gives you your true north. And hence, you can soon reach to your natural talents, gifts, and ultimately your purpose and meaning in career. I hope you found this conceptual idea quite enticing and start searching for your true north, which will give you a meaning and a robust personal brand called You Incorporated. Thank you.